Hello, Outlander fans. So episode 10 had a lot of drama in it. A lot of family drama, especially. We definitely got a lot of downfalls as far as relationships go. But it probably won't last too long, but it's a lot to explain, but I personally liked the episode. I thought it was really well done how, everything got figured out, and believe me, it was really confusing. I don't know how the writers do it, but I can imagine being in that situation. How does everybody figure out everything? How does everything come to light? I thought they did that really well. And we definitely saw a lot of interesting moments. So, let me talk about some of the big moments that happened. The episode was called The Deep Heart's Core, I think. I'm pretty sure. And it was interesting to see Brianna, she and Jamie have this big scene at the beginning. She's explaining to him she feels like it was her fault that she didn't fight to stop the rape that was happening, and he's trying to explain to her, but he does it in a way you wouldn't expect somebody to explain it, but he provokes her by saying, yeah, maybe you didn't want to stop the rape, maybe you wanted it to happen, that's why you didn't fight. And she gets so mad at this, she starts physically fighting him, and he quickly overpowers her, and it was to prove a point. If you had tried to fight Bonnet, this would not have gone well, you would have died. So it was his way of getting it through to her. And I think in the book it was kind of a little more violent. I don't know all the details, but I had heard people talking about it. So I feel like the way they did it in the show, it wasn't too extreme. She just did a few hits here and there, but he quickly, just overpowered her. I don't know. I didn't think it was too intense, but everybody has each to each their own. But I thought the scene was really well done, especially after that. She still has these desires to kill Bonnet herself, and Jamie's trying to tell her, that's not the right route to take. But she brings up Jack Randall because Claire had told her about him. And Jamie he hasn't talked about Jack Randall in a long time. So it was really interesting to hear his thoughts on that. She brings up the whole battle in Paris, or the duel in Paris. And he's explaining to her, well, it was a different situation. And the reason why I didn't fight back originally was because it was to protect your mother. So, in a way, their situations were different, but they can still connect in, with their pain and the suffering that they went through. So even though it's not an ideal connection, it's still a connection that they have. So I like that they explored that. And we do get to see the family being happy and enjoying life in our final pleasant montage of the season, probably. But I loved Claire and Brianna's scene where they're talking about all the luxuries that they miss, all of the 20th century luxuries, such as flushing toilets. But I loved that we got to see the bond between them. We haven't really, we did a little bit, hardly in season 2, a teeny bit more in season 3, but I feel like we're really seeing them connect a little more, especially because they're both from the same time, and they're really the only people they have that they can talk to about all these things and have each other understand that. So I like that they have their own connection. I just love that scene, especially because it makes me think, oh yeah, there's a lot of things I could not live without if I went back to the 18th century. But I unfortunately have to depart from the pleasant moments and talk about the downfall of the Fraser family. So, Brianna has a bad dream, and this brings on Lizzie, like, she wakes Brianna up, and she realizes, oh, you had a nightmare about him. And as they continue talking, Lizzie lets slip that it was Roger that Jamie got, just based on her description. And Brianna storms into the cabin, and she demands to know why Jamie attacked Roger. And Jamie thought, obviously, that Roger was the man who attacked her, but she goes on to explain, no, he's the guy that I did the hand fasting with, and it's just a really intense, complicated conversation, and eventually the truth comes out that it was Bonnet who had raped her, and that really, really sets Jamie off. Like, he's angry, because this was a secret that was kept from him, and to know that it was that man especially that did that to his daughter, just, everybody's mad. Like, Brianna even slaps Jamie at one point, and she also hits Ian when he explains that he sold Roger to the Mohawks. I think Brianna has hit like 3 people this season. I can't say that that was satisfying, because yes, Jamie and Ian did stupid things out of rash behavior, but I don't know if they deserved to be hit. It was just, they didn't know what was going on. And that was, I'm going to say, mostly Lizzie's fault, because she made a lot of assumptions, and these assumptions were very false. But, yeah. Like I said, complicated. It's a show. They gotta have some drama. But, yeah, Brianna is so pissed. And she is like, okay, we gotta get Roger back. And she tells Jamie and Ian, you guys are gonna go retrieve him. But she doesn't want to send them alone. She wants to come along. But they point out, you shouldn't come with us because you're expecting, and the travel is going to be long and hard, and obviously it is going to take a while because they're already a week ahead of them, and they have to go all the way up to New York, and that's really, really far. So Brianna realizes, yeah, you're right, I can't go. So she decides to send Mama Claire. And the reason why is because she thinks Roger is definitely going to need a doctor, and she also feels like it's good that he sees a familiar face, because if he sees Jamie and Ian, he is most likely going to run the other way. Which I wouldn't blame him for that. But so Claire does agree, hesitantly, but she agrees. So they are going to set off to find Roger, and in the meantime, Brianna's not going to stay at Fraser's Ridge. She's going to go to Auntie Jacosta's. Yeah, we haven't seen her since, well, we saw her at the beginning of episode 3, but that's the last time we saw her. And, well, before I get to that scene, like, I have to say I loved Ian, right before everybody departed. Ian got on his knee to Brianna. He was going to propose to her. He's like, just in case we don't find Roger, I'm willing to marry you. And awkward moment, but hilarious at the same time. And Jamie tells him, get off your knee, you idiot. I just thought that was a good little comic relief right there. And Ian is obviously going to try to make it up to Brianna. He knows what he did, and he does feel really bad about it. But we're going to see all of that unravel eventually. And Murtaugh goes to take Bree and Lizzie to Aunt Jacosta's. Murtaugh does know Jocasta from the past. They haven't seen each other for many years, but she does recognize him just by touching his hands. And I really think Murtaugh's going to be Jocasta's love interest. I really feel like that's what they're going for because, well, it was supposed to be Duncan Innes, And I can't remember if he's been introduced or not, but he was supposed to be Jocasta's love interest in the books. But I really wonder if Murtaugh is going to be it, because Murtaugh died in the books. Now he's brought back. So maybe that's their way of finding a story for him. And I think that would be great, because in a way it would be like a happy ending for him. Well, we'll see. I think it's possible, and I approve. But anyway, so Brianna gets introduced to Jocasta, and Jocasta is surprisingly welcoming to Brianna even after she explains the situation that she's in. But we all know it's because she's going to try to find Brianna a suitor. She is like the matchmaker of River Run. And we are going to see Lord John Grey come into that plot line next week, it looks like. So that will be exciting. And also, we did see Roger. This was... Okay, look, I'm not going to regret disliking his character, because he was being a bit of a... you know. But, like, he's really going through a tough time. He is a prisoner to the Mohawks. He is dealing with poor treatment, and then on top of everything, like, he doesn't know how he's going to get back. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Eventually he does escape, and while he's escaping, he comes across the buzzing sound. And it turns out there is another rock formation similar to Craignadoon, but this one, I think we saw this one at the beginning of episode 1. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they would have shown a different one, but this is pretty much America's version of Craignadoon. And he is so tempted to go back in time. Like, back to his time, I should say. But anyway, the beauty of the ending here is that it's left on this cliffhanger where he is, I wouldn't say he's on a cliff, but he's about to put his hand on the rock, and that's where it ends. We don't see what happens, and it always reminds me of when Claire was trying to get back to Frank. I don't know if you guys heard the music in the background, but that is the exact same theme that was playing when Claire was trying to run back to the stones to Frank. And I thought that was really clever, because Roger as well is tempted to go back to his own time. Unfortunately, Brianna wouldn't be there, but he has this moment where he's like, I'm so close to freedom. But he also has to decide, am I going to leave Brianna here? And in a way, that was Claire's, like, major conflict at the time as well. Am I going to leave Jamie here? So I thought that was a really good parallel. And I loved how they did that at the very end. They left us wondering, what did he choose? Now, I've read ahead, like, I've read the events of Drums of Autumn, so I know what his choice is, but I thought for the episode that was a really good place to leave off. And we are going to see Claire, Jamie, and Ian try to get Roger back in the next episode. And like I said, we're going to see Aunt Jocasta pushing suitors onto Brianna. And we will see Lord John Grey as well in this situation. And Murtaugh has also been tasked by Jamie to go find Bonnet because Jamie wants to kill him. It's another hush-hush secret, which they really need to stop doing secrets in this family because it has not been going well. But, yeah. So, yeah, it was a good episode. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. Last week's was definitely my favorite just because so many big moments happened and it was just really beautifully written. This episode definitely dealt with a lot of conflict, a lot of family drama, and just a lot of intense situations. But I thought it was good. And yeah, we're almost done, guys. 3 more episodes. Can you believe that? Wow. We're going to be in Outlander again now. And I don't know how long it's going to be because they're not filming season 5 until February. And if we pay attention to their calendar, they're most likely not going to be done filming until maybe the end of the year. And then they have to do the editing, so maybe in the spring of 2020, maybe even the summer. We actually haven't seen Outlander in the summer. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think the show's going really good. I love all of the interactions that are going on with each character. Just brilliantly done. And I know people complain about Brianna being a brat and like nasty towards everybody, but to be fair, she has been through a lot. She is going through a lot right now, being pregnant and dealing with the fact that her husband and love has been sent away and she doesn't know if he's okay or not. That is not a good feeling, especially when you know that your father and cousin had a hand in that. But honestly, it's a normal reaction. She got very upset. It happens. I mean, hopefully that exact situation doesn't happen, but things do happen like that. But yeah, and I also love that Bree also decided to keep the baby. We are going to see the baby most likely at the end of the season, so yay! New Fraser baby! Alright guys, and I want to thank you very much for watching my last episode if you did. Thank you for hearing me out. It was just something I needed to talk about and get off my chest, so I'm glad I did. Thank you for being here and for listening and enjoying the show with me because it's a really good show. And yeah, already 2019, we have a new calendar up here. And I'm very excited to see the last 3 episodes of Outlander. And if there is anything I didn't talk about, I apologize because I try to remember everything, but there's just so much that happens, all the details, and yeah. But yes. Alright, tell me what you guys thought of the episode. What do you guys think about Murtaugh and Jocasta getting together? I think it would be awesome. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Alright, I will see you next week for episode 11. See you soon. Bye!